Good morning, Les. Happy Thursday. How are you?
I'm great and grateful and grinding.
You are grinding. You've been busy lately.
Yes. Spoke virtually in Germany yesterday and Toronto virtually yesterday. This is very interesting and fascinating that the technology, the computer eliminates geography.
Right.
So you can do a lot of things in a lot of places from one place. So that's the exciting thing about it.
You're actually going to speak over the weekend here on your Facebook, and you're bringing on a lot of people from your Power Voice system. It looks like.
Yeah, I believe that evil prevails when good men and women do nothing, and there are people who are fired up and hungry to speak, to make a difference, to be heard, to reduce the tendency for people to want to commit suicide or allow themselves to be overwhelmed with despair and anxiety and depression. And I think when we multiply the voices of blessings and goodness and opportunity and optimism, we can make a tremendous impact on the collective psyche of the world.
Well, I'm super excited to tune in. Let's say hi to everybody. Let us know, as always, where you're watching from. Speaking of eliminating geography, Cancun, Mexico.
Been there.
To be there right now sounds amazing.
Mississippi, yeah.
Mississippi.
Been there, yes.
South Africa.
Been there, yes.
The UK.
Yeah.
One of your favorites, Abu Dhabi.
Yes, Abu Dhabi. Diana, yes.
Looks like you might know. It's Leslie from Detroit.
Yes, I know Leslie.
And then I don't even know how to say this one. I'll let you take a crack at it.
I don't have my glasses on.
Okay. I'm going to mess it up. Guernsey from the Channel Islands. Guernsey Channel Islands. So that sounds so exotic. I'm going to have to figure out where that is. I now have homework after this, but we have people from all over, so that's super exciting. So what are you going to speak with us about today?
Well, I want to talk about just because it doesn't look good and the way you thought it would look, your life, it doesn't mean that it's over and that there's nothing you can do about it and that it's a hopeless situation and that what you are marred in is something that you cannot escape from.
Right. That's definitely the time. I'm so excited to hear it. And I'm excited to hear you use other words besides pivot. I think people have been talking about this a little bit, but they all keep using the word pivot, right? We've overused the word pivot during this. So I'm super excited to hear you talk about this. So I'm going to jump out and let you get started, sir.
Yes. Thank you. You know, one of the things that I was reflecting on and talking to Aaron, and I want to thank all of you for joining us. Just because things don't look the way that you thought they would look, and they don't represent what you have in mind, it does not mean that your situation is over and that you should quit and that you should throw in the towel. That one of the things I have learned at 75 and before that is that you have to have a perpetual sense of optimism, that you have a mindset that things are going to get better in spite of. And when you have that kind of mindset, you don't stop to look at what you don't have. You focus on what you do have, and you look for ways to strengthen that. And that's major, because most people have a tendency to focus on the negative. Why? Because it stands out in your mind. Negative thoughts, negative words, negative events in your life, they amplify and they stick in the mind stronger. They have a greater volume. And people have a tendency to forget the good things. They have a tendency to forget the things that they have going for them. They have a tendency to forget the blessings and the fact that, hey, I've been in some tough situations before and I got through it. Somehow we throw that out of the window. No, all of us have experienced some stuff that we've gone through that had no idea how we would go through it. And when we begin to reflect on the victories, reflect on the things that we have overcome, there's some strength and some power in remembering the fact that you are stronger than your circumstances. You're stronger than the things that life will throw at you. I remember as a kid when my mother was sick and she could no longer work at the M&M cafeteria. And we were going through a tough time. And so Mama had a can of sardines in the refrigerator. And so Margaret Ann, she was just a kid. She was like 5 years old. And it was like 3 or 4 or 5 cans of sardines. Now here Mama is, she's sick. She took in 7 kids that she didn't give birth to. And she couldn't work to put food on the table, to pay the rent. And so there she was. At this time, she was temporarily sidelined. And so we were hungry. My sister, as a 5-year-old would do, went in the refrigerator, found some cans of sardines, and she tried to open them with the opener. If you've ever seen a can of sardines, it's not difficult for an adult, but it's difficult for a 5-year-old to figure it out. If you don't get it open completely and leave it open, you can get ptomaine poisoning. And what I remember about my mother, and I want you to just think about hunger. My mother had a hunger to take care of us. She had a hunger to share her life with children. She never had any children herself. And so when we went to the refrigerator and found several cans of the sardines open, we said to Mama, we got some sardines, we can eat these. And she said, bring them in here. And she noticed the cans were open, not all the way, but as best my little 5-year-old sister could do. And so she said, who opened these cans of sardines? And the sardines are still in there. And said, I think it was Margaret Ann. Margaret Ann, come here. Did you leave these half open? She said, yes, ma'am. How long have they been in the refrigerator open like this? She's 5 years old. She said, I don't know. So Mama said, y'all can't eat these now. And we said, why, Mama? You can get ptomaine poisoning. But what are we going to do to eat? She said, I want y'all to go outside and play. Bring me the rest of the cans. And we brought them in. She said, let me look at them. And she saw some of them were half open, some just slightly open. She said, y'all go out and play. I'm going to test one of them. And so my brothers and sisters, they went outside and started playing. I didn't go outside. I was watching her. I said, what are you going to do? She said, I'm going to eat about 3 or 4, and I want you to wait for an hour. And if I get sick, you go next door and you call Miss Curry or Miss Lillian and tell them to call Dr. Johnson. But I don't need you to wait right now. Just come back in an hour. I said, Mama, I'm not going to leave you. She said, boy, did you hear me? I backed up from the bed because I knew she couldn't get up. This was the first time I was deliberately disobedient to my mother in her face. I said, Mama, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to leave you. She said, Leslie, listen to me. I'll be all right. No, Mama, I'm not going to leave you in case you get sick. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to watch you. She said, boy, you're going to make me get up off this bed and I'm going to slap you in the middle of next week. I'm not leaving anywhere, Mama. And she realized I was not going to leave her. I'm a mama's boy. And she took one of the cans and she ate about 3 or 4 of them, and she just waited. And I kept asking, Mama, oh, you all right? And she was, from the illness that she was dealing with, she was saying, I'm all right, Leslie. It's not the sardines that I'm mourning from. I'm all right. Mama, are you all right? Mama, are you all right? I shook her arm. Yes, Leslie, I'm all right. How does your stomach feel, Mama? You got your hand on your stomach. How does your stomach feel? Do I need to go get Miss Curry and Miss Lillian to call Dr. Johnson? No, Leslie, no. And I was watching her like a hawk. And a long time passed, and she said, Leslie, you can call your brothers and sisters in now. The sardines are okay. I'm not sick. I'm not having cramps in my stomach. I don't feel nauseous. I said, yes, ma'am, Mama. And I called my brothers and sisters in, and we did eat those sardines. It was not as bad as we thought that things were. There are things that are going to happen in your life. At first appearance, it's going to look real bad. That's why we should pause. That's why we should take our time before we pass judgment. Why we should respond rather than react. And so I want to share with you what I learned from my mother, who she was a determined person. Here she was willing to poison herself for the kids that she took in, that she didn't give birth to. Boy, that hit me. That was a strong message that says, I love y'all, and I'll put my life on the line for you. That's why when I give speeches, I say, this is Mamie Brown's baby boy, because I truly am. Here's a quote I love. Hunger is not the strength to go on. Hunger is going on when you don't have any strength. There's stuff that's going to happen to you. People are going to be evicted. Some already have been. I was looking at it on television, and the people who were processing the evictions, they started crying. I couldn't take it. One lady, she was old, and they put her out in a chair because she could not walk well, and she was in a hot burning sun. And God was crying and said, I can't do this, and carried her back in the house. And that looked like a very bad situation, this group of people in this particular apartment complex, but people who saw that in the news, people who saw that on the internet, someone put together a GoFundMe, someone started generating and raising funds to help them to be able to have a place to be. See, it's not enough to look at situations and things that happen and say, oh my God, isn't that awful? We know, because of what has happened with the coronavirus, we know that millions of people are going to be evicted and foreclosed on, that all of us can play a role in helping them. If we just decided just to help one family, I want you to write this down. Do what you can. In spite of how bad the situation is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Do what you can. If you just help one person or one homeless person standing on the corner, or one family that's on the verge of having all their stuff set out. If you just look at, and you're not talking about taking on the whole stuff, moving everybody in. No, you can't afford that. But there's something you can do if it's just bringing them water and they're not hot burning sun. that this is a time. Things either make you or they break you. This is the time that we need people to step up. This is the time. Just imagine now, the stock market is off the hook. Why? Poor people are getting poorer and rich people are getting richer. And so I believe that we have the opportunity now to help as many families as we possibly can. George Washington Carver said, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. Next thing is this. It's not as bad as you think for those who've been evicted, for those of you who've been foreclosed on. I'm speaking from a place of knowing. I lost the first home for my mother. It's not the end of the world. What's very important and what I remember, I never focused on, oh my God, I didn't spend any time thinking about looking at that we had been foreclosed on and I'd lost a house. I immediately started working, started focusing on what I was going to do in that moment when my mother came to the back of the truck and we were unloading the truck and taking it in the old house where we had moved out of, and I was feeling depressed and feeling powerless and stupid and listening to the words of the neighbors. My God, Mamie's back. That boy lost a house. And I felt defeated and I was crying and my mother came to the back of the truck and said, boy, you hold your head up. I said, Mama, I feel so stupid. I feel so stupid. Did you hear me? Hold your head up. And when she did that, like that, I saw a new house in my vision, in my imagination. When she did that, like that, I forgot the person that had ripped me off, that took my money, that lied. When she did that, I focused on my ability to say, hey, if I got one house, I can get another. Even though I had lost the down payment, even though I'd been ripped off, even though I was starting over again. I didn't have a job. I was working on and planning on paying for the house with my ability to speak. And everything was disrupted. And we took the clothes back in the house. The roaches would look and say, no. What a mighty God we serve. Y'all ain't bad. Come on. Come on. You playing with me, huh? You mean Mamie gonna be back here baking some sweet potato pies? Look at God. The cats, the dogs, the roaches, the rats, they were playing cards, they enjoyed themselves, they started celebrating because we were back. Talk about, look at God. Oh my God, but what wrong with me in that moment, Mama said, you have nothing to be ashamed of. We still have each other. Come on now. Come on now. And what she did, in spite of all that was going on, she was not focusing on what we lost. She was focusing on what we have. We still have each other. Life is on your side. Life is on your side. If life wasn't on your side, you will be taking a dirt nap right now. You woke up this morning. There was not a chalk outline around your body. Life is on your side. Let this show you that this is your time. As things happen to you, they can make you or they can break you. And I focused on developing myself. I found a skill that I had it was just a hobby, speaking voluntarily. They said a calling is something you love it so much you do it for nothing, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. And I found a way to start speaking again and then getting love offerings from churches. They'd give you $50 or $75 and say, and the Lord loved you. And I say, yeah, to myself, but y'all don't love me very much. And it began to grow. And in less than 60 days, I was able to generate enough money by focusing on what I had and developing it and strengthening it and working on a level of mastery. I was able to regain everything we lost and more. You have something special. You have greatness in you. I encourage you, don't look at what you are dealing with right now, because whatever you focus on the longest, it becomes the strongest. Focus on where you're going. Focus in the now, what you can do now. Focus on the words of Frederick Douglass, who said, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. You have a mindset, a victorious mindset. To understand the words of Willie Jolly, who said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You have comeback power. 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt. You have comeback power. And so as you think about yourself, as you think about your goals and dreams, as you think about whatever you are dealing with, it might be a divorce that you never saw coming until Corona came. You're in the house, and y'all looking at each other now. You hadn't been talking to each other, just passing each other, and you say, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't want to do life with you anymore. When you have been working in a place and you've seen people dying and you see how fragile life is, and you decided, I don't know if I want my life to go out like this. I want to do something new. I want to transition and try something else. I don't want to die with a list of regrets of things that I did not do. You have the ability to do that. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. The highest thoughts in you of self-destruction, of beating yourself up, how stupid you were, how dumb, and all the mistakes that you made. Or you could say, I got this. I'm going to get through this. And that conversation that you have with yourself, that's very important. And those negative thoughts, they're going to creep back up in you over and over and over again. I'm going to wind this up on something I'm going to share with you. And I do this often. I want you to go on YouTube and feed your mind to fortify your faith so your doubts and self-destructive thoughts will starve to death. I want you to listen to me every day. Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. Oh, I saw it. No. It doesn't matter that you saw it. What matters is that you watch it over and over and over again until it becomes a part of you, until it becomes a dominant thought in your mind that it's not over until I win. You can take the furniture, you can take the house, you can take the car, but you can't take my victorious spirit. This is just a setback, and I have comeback power, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to go beyond where I am now, because things in life, they can make you or they can break you. You might bend, but you're not broken. You hear my voice. You have a pulse. There was not a chalk outline around your body this morning. You're God's masterpiece because you're a piece of the master. There's something that you are supposed to do. There's a reason that you're still here. There are almost over 200,000 people are gone, out of here. Life has no duplicate. No, no. Life has no duplicate. As George Jackson would say, my spiritual business partner and brother, your life is precious. You're an unrepeatable miracle. This is your time. A setback is a setup for a comeback. I'm looking to train voices of hope, voices of inspiration. I'm looking for people who want to use their story of what they've overcome, and that millions of people who hear that story would use it as a guide, as an example of what they can do to overcome what they're facing right now. Things may happen around you, things may happen to you, as Elsie Robinson would say, but the most important thing that happens is what happens in you. And your story, your voice, your optimism, your example will trigger and ignite something in people, because your voice has a frequency. There's something about you that when they hear you, if they're in a place of darkness, when you speak, you bring them out into the light. I want you to put voice in the comment section, voice in the comment section. If you would like me to train you how to use your story to help others to grow their business, to turn their lives around, to rise above the adversities that they're looking at right now, I want you to put voice in the comment section. Said, Les Brown, I want you to train me, to teach me how to use my voice, because now we all have a chance. People say the number one fear people have is public speaking. Well, you don't have to speak publicly now. You can speak in the privacy of your home before the computer. So that's gone. That's no longer the number one fear. All you have to do is look at this little green light here. It can't talk, but you can talk, and you got a story. And from the comfort of your home, the privacy of your home, you can make a global impact, because the computer eliminates geography, and it's your time. It's your time. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's Baby Boy. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. You'll know, by the way, if you never had some sardines, please go get a little can and try them out. They're not bad. Aaron?
I have never had sardines.
I know you're a millennial.
Barely.
No, I'm not. Yes.
Look at this quote from Sabrina. She says she loves Mamie Brown. She wished she could have met her and tasted her sweet potato pie.
Oh, thank you, Sabrina.
There also was a quote very early on from Marva, and I had to write it down because, I can't go back. But she wanted to know, was that Doc Johnson on 7th Avenue? Do you remember if it was on 7th Avenue, Doc Johnson? She knows him.
Wow.
I know. If you're still watching us, Marva,
He's around 95.
Drop a comment, Marva. I'll put it up there if you're still on. But look at this. You underestimated the audience because sardines are great. Ingrid likes them with hot sauce or with grits, Deborah says.
That's right, Deborah. You know.
All sorts of sardine lovers here. You already know your message today was amazing. You already know, and I've said this before to the audience. I'm one of those Corona divorces, right? And so it was exactly this morning we were talking about what topic you were gonna hit on, so I could get it all right in the text side. And you said, "Well, what do you want to hear?" And I was just like, I don't know. And you're like, this is what you want to hear. And I was like, you're right. I do. So I can only imagine there's thousands of comments on here today of people that said you exactly hit what they needed to hear, whether it be work or divorce.
I'm surprised at people who have had sardines. And they look like young people. Yes. Yes. Sardines are real good. Sardines and grits are really good. Now, come
what
on.
About mustard?
Everybody eat them with mustard. You know what? I'm going to send somebody to go get me some sardines today. It's It's been a minute since I had some sardines. Now, here's something else. By the way, I'm going to mention something, and I guarantee you nobody's going to respond because most of the audience are very young today. They know nothing about this, and they've never eaten this before. I remember going to the store, and there would be a big jar next to the cash register. And they had what are called, and you have not eaten this, pickled pig feet.
You said that the other day. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I guarantee you, nobody watching us right now, I don't even think they have pickled pig feet anymore.
So my friend Jaron, he's from St. Louis, but he lives here now. He owns a few different companies in Kansas City. He watches us. Probably today will be the only day he's not watching because I haven't seen him comment. But he asked me the other day also if I had ever had pickled pig feet, and he's only 29.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't eat pickled pig feet now because I'm a vegan. I don't do it, but I haven't seen them in a very long time.
There's people that have had them.
And pickled feet. What? No, the devil is a liar.
How many people that have had them?
People have had pickled pig feet. Warner, come on, come
I'm
on.
with Joe, though. I'm with Joe.
Yuck. That's right, Joe. Oh my God.
Rob loves pickled pig feet. What about this one? Have you ever had hog head cheese?
No.
Still got a list of things to try, sir.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, go ahead and wrap us up. Well, on pickled pig feet, on that note, go ahead and wrap us up.
Just because things don't look the way that you thought they will look, in fact, they look disastrous. In fact, you might be going through some stuff. Here's what I know. I've been through foreclosure. I've been fired from a job at a difficult time in my life. And what I learned about myself and about life, there's something in us. There's a presence. There's a power in us. And he said, I'll never leave you, nor forsake you. Those are not just words. That's real. And when you are in alignment with that kind of thinking, judge not according to appearances. And listen to me. Right thinking, right words, right vision, right relationships, and right action. You will be able to come through. Judge not according to appearances, but righteous judgment. As you look at your life, as you look at your circumstances, as you look at your place right now, it's temporary. Have a righteous judgment on it and say, and look beyond that. I can handle this. And as Willie Jolly would say, I got this. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I love that you quoted Willie Jolly. I met him through you, and he's wonderful. We'll be back. We'll be back here tomorrow at 11, same time, same place. And let us know if you try the pickled sardines.
Okay. Tell people, don't forget to put in voice in the comments section so they can find out more about the Les Brown Power Voice system. Oh, by the way, I'm having this weekend 20 speakers that we are launching their careers, and we're doing this weekend, a speaking summit of people that have gone through our training. And so people who are interested, we will have stuff posted on lesbrown.com, but we're launching 20 speakers this weekend.
Right here on Facebook Live.
Around the world will get a chance to see. What'd you say?
It's going to be right here on Facebook Live. Yes,
it's going to be on Facebook Live. Everybody will be able to see it. So I'm excited about them. The world needs voices of hope, voices of truth and honesty and integrity. And because people are talking about the third wave of the coronavirus, I'm concerned about the fourth wave of mental breakdown. That's what I'm concerned about. and the speakers that we train, I believe that we can push back on that, and we should. There's some voices out there. I'm just one, you're just one, but there's some other voices that God needs now. All hands on deck. Come on, fired up to speak. Bring it.
I'm excited. I'm so excited to tune in. All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11, and we're going to remind you about this event this weekend. But we'll see you tomorrow at 11. Have a wonderful Thursday.
Bye for now.